Listening, reading and critical thinking. In this unit we are going to listen about some useful tools that can be used on an island. And we are going to read about Defoe, The Adventures of Robinson Crusoe. Some useful tools that can be used on an island. A knife. A knife is used to cut things with, like food and plants. It can also be used to protect ourselves from wild animals. A first aid box. A first aid box is used when somebody hurts themselves. A rope. A rope is used to build a boat to escape from the island. An axe. An axe is used to cut down trees for building a boat. A mirror. A mirror is used to signal to ships for rescuing. A pot. A pot is used to cook food in. Defoe. Daniel was one of the first writers of novels in England. He was born in London in 1660. His father was a butcher. He married Mary Topley in 1684. They had 2 sons and 5 daughters. He started his own newspaper, The Review, in 1704. He wrote his most famous book, Robinson Crusoe, in 1719. It's about the adventures of a man who was shipwrecked alone on a desert island. He died at the age of 71 in 1731. The Adventures of Robinson Crusoe. Robinson Crusoe left England on a ship in 1651, even though his parents didn't want him to become a sailor. 8 years later, after many exciting but dangerous adventures, there was a terrible storm. Crusoe was shipwrecked on an island about 70 kilometers from South America. All the other sailors died, but Crusoe saved tools, guns, and other useful things from the ship before it sank. He built a safe home, hunted animals, and grew crops for food. A bird and some cats were his only friends. But he was lonely because he was the only human on the island. After 12 years, he was very surprised when he found a human footprint in the sand. He discovered that people from the mainland sometimes visited the island and killed their prisoners there. One of these people escaped and stayed with Crusoe on the island. Crusoe called him Friday and taught him a few words of English. Later, another group of people from the mainland came to the island. Crusoe and Friday killed some of them and saved some more prisoners. Friday's father was one of these. With more help, Crusoe could now grow more food. In December 1686, an English ship arrived and took Crusoe and Friday off the island. Crusoe and Friday then traveled to England and finally arrived in London in June 1687. Crusoe found that a business he had started years ago had been very successful. So, he was now a rich man. He married and had 3 children. After his wife died, he sailed back to the island for the last time. He found the islanders were living happy, successful lives there. Language notes. The difference among reach, arrive in, and arrive at. Reach doesn't take a preposition. Arrive in a big place, arrive at a small place. I reached Cairo yesterday. I arrived in Cairo yesterday. I arrived at Cairo airport yesterday. The difference between drown and sink. Drown is used for people, sink is used for things. The ship sank in the sea. Ali drowned in the sea. The difference between made of and made from. This table is made of wood. The cake is made from flour, eggs, and water. Now, answer the following questions. What do you know about Daniel Defoe? He was one of the first writers of novels in England. What did Defoe's father do? His father was a butcher. What did Robinson Crusoe's parents object to and why? They didn't want him to become a sailor. They must be afraid that they might lose him. What was the result of the terrible storm? Crusoe was shipwrecked on an island 70 kilometers from America, and all the other sailors died. What did Crusoe discover after 12 years? He discovered that people from the mainland sometimes visited the island and killed their prisoners there. How did he save more prisoners? He did so by killing some people from the mainland and saved some more prisoners there. What did Crusoe find when he returned back to the island? He found that the islanders were living happy, successful lives. How did he find the islanders? He found the islanders were living happy, successful lives there. So, the two questions have the same answer. Choose the correct answer. The government is reclaiming the desert to build, grow, burn, or cut crops for food. The ship sank, flew, or sank near the Libyan borders. Crusoe was strong, lonely, tall, or only because he was the only human on the island. Crusoe explored, made, discovered, or invented that people from the mainland sometimes visited the island. His business was very successful, successfully, or succeed. Now, check your answers. Thanks for listening. With Nafham, learn easily and simply.